A plantUML activity diagram is a visual representation of workflows and processes, expressed in a simple, text-based syntax that plantUML interprets to generate diagrams. It models the flow of control or data within a system, showing activities, decisions, concurrency, and start/endpoints in a clear and structured way. Using keywords like start, stop, if, else, fork, and end, users can quickly describe process logic without complex graphical tools, making it easy to version, share, and update diagrams alongside code or documentation. Every plantUML file must begin with startUML and end with endUML. These lines define the boundaries of the diagram and are required for plantUML to process the code correctly. To avoid interference from default styling and to fully observe the effects of our own customizations, we'll also apply the plain theme. This disables any built-in visual presets, giving us a clean slate to work with and ensuring that any changes we introduce are clearly visible. At this stage, the preview is still empty because no activities or flows have been defined. Therefore, we need to enter the start and stop tokens, which act as nodes for the beginning and end of a diagram. Adding these markers provides a minimal but valid structure that plantUML can render, allowing us to confirm that the setup works before introducing more complex elements. First, add some more visible content in the diagram. Add a simple action called Action 1. Then, insert a basic if-then condition with an action for the default branch. Save the code. plantUML will re-render the diagram and automatically connect these elements with arrows. At this point, the diagram may not fit the view. There is an inline option to make it fit better, which I will show later. At the moment, adjust the diagram with the zoom buttons. Now add an else branch with an action, and give the if and else branches a label. Let's get started with some global styles. In plantUML, almost all global styles begin with the token skin param, which is used to control the overall appearance of the diagram, such as colors, fonts, borders, and background settings. The first skin parameter to explore is the background color. You can set this either by using a named color, such as red, or by specifying a precise shade with a hexadecimal color code. By providing a second color, you can extend the background into a gradient. Using a minus sign between the two colors creates a vertical color gradient, blending smoothly from the first color to the second. One essential color to know is transparent, which effectively sets no color at all. In most cases, you should make transparent the preferred choice, as it keeps the diagram clean and adaptable to different backgrounds. Another useful customization is setting the default font for your diagrams. You can do this with the command skin param default font name, followed by the name of the font you want to use. This allows you to ensure consistent typography across all elements in the diagram and match the style to your preferred design or organizational standards. The name of the font should always be written in quotes when you assign it with skin param default font name. plantUML treats font names as case insensitive, so whether you write Arial in upper or lower letter, the result will be the same. This ensures that you don't have to worry about capitalization when specifying fonts. In addition to choosing the font family, you can also control the text size by setting skin param default font size. This parameter defines the base size for all text elements in your diagram, giving you flexibility to make labels, notes, and activity names more readable, or to align with presentation and documentation requirements. The skin param padding setting controls the amount of space added around elements in your diagram. By default, the value is 0, and any negative numbers you provide will simply be ignored. Adjusting this parameter helps you create more breathing room and improve the readability of crowded diagrams. The value of skin param padding is also added on top of the individual padding of each element. Since many elements allow their own padding settings, you can fine-tune spacing at both the global and local level, ensuring consistent margins while still customizing specific nodes when needed. The skin param round corner setting allows you to round the corners of boxes and other rectangular elements. Increasing the value gives you softer edges, which can make diagrams look more modern and visually appealing compared to sharp corners. With skin param DPI, you can increase the resolution of your diagram to achieve better quality, especially when exporting images. However, setting the DPI too high can cause the diagram to exceed the size of the canvas, so it's best to balance clarity with practical limits. For larger diagrams that require higher resolution, you may need to start plantUML with an option that allocates more memory. This ensures that the rendering process has enough resources to handle the complexity and size of the output. It's important to note that there is no way to increase the memory allocation during a running session. Because of this, you should keep the DPI value small when possible, unless you are certain that additional memory has been assigned before starting plantUML. The skin param shadowing option lets you enable or disable shadows for elements in your diagrams. Shadows can add depth and make diagrams easier to read, but the quality of these shadows is directly influenced by the skin param DPI setting. A higher DPI produces smoother and more natural-looking shadows, while a lower DPI may result in rougher edges. Similarly, the skin param handwritten option applies a handwritten style to your diagram, giving it a more informal or sketch-like appearance. Just like shadows, the quality of the handwritten effect is affected by the skin param DPI value. Increasing the DPI will create smoother, cleaner strokes, while a lower DPI may make the lines appear rough or jagged. You can add a note to your diagram that contains a very long text passage. Notes are useful for explanations, annotations, or additional context that doesn't belong directly in the flow of the diagram, but still helps readers understand the content. If your note becomes too long, you can manually break the text into multiple lines by inserting new line characters. This allows you to control exactly where the line breaks appear, making the text easier to read. But it is more flexible to let plantUML handle line breaking automatically by using the wrapwidth parameter. This parameter sets a minimum width at which text will wrap inside a note, helping to keep long blocks of text tidy without the need for manual line breaks. plantUML supports several markdown-style text decorations that you can use in notes, labels, and other text elements. These include underline, italic, emphasis in bold, strike-through, and even a wave underline. Using these styles makes it easy to highlight or differentiate parts of your text. You can also create bullet points in plantUML using markdown syntax. Simply start each line with an asterisk or hyphen followed by a space, and plantUML will render them as a list, which is especially useful for structuring longer explanations inside notes. Leading tabs and spaces in your plantUML source code are ignored when rendering the diagram. This means you can freely use indentation to organize and structure your code, improving readability without affecting the visual output of the diagram. It's also possible to combine multiple markdown styles in the same text. For example, you could make a word both bold and italic. Just remember to keep the opening and closing markers in the correct order. Otherwise, plantUML won't interpret the formatting correctly. You can change the position of a note in your diagram by adding the keyword right immediately after the note keyword. This will align the note to the right side of the element it is attached to, giving you more control over the layout and flow of the diagram. plantUML also allows you to apply individual coloring to nodes. To do this, place a color code directly before the colon in the node definition. You can even specify two colors to create a gradient, which smoothly blends from one color to another and makes your diagram more visually engaging. Notes themselves can also be colored to improve readability or highlight important information. To do this, add the color code directly after the note keyword. Just like with nodes, you can use a single color or define a gradient with two colors, giving your notes a customized and polished appearance. The next two parameters are for convenience. Adding them mostly has no effect, but omitting them can create some unexpected garbage in the diagram. The Hide Empty Description option removes empty description fields from your diagram. This is useful when you have elements such as classes or components that don't need additional descriptive text. By hiding them, the diagram looks cleaner and avoids unnecessary blank spaces. The Hide Stereotypes option hides stereotype labels, the small annotations that usually appear in guillemets, like interface or abstract. This helps simplify the visual output when stereotypes are not relevant to your use case, keeping the focus on the structure or flow of the diagram itself. You can apply special customizations to your diagrams using the Style section. This feature gives you finer control over the look and feel of your diagrams, allowing you to define styles that go beyond what simple skin param or single node adjustments can achieve. The Style section sits conceptually between global parameters and single node customization. It offers more options than customizing just one node while also providing more specialization than global skin param settings. This makes it a powerful tool for balancing consistency with flexibility in diagram styling. When you want to address the entire diagram with styles, you must first label the diagram by its type. For an activity diagram, this means starting the style definition with the name activity diagram. This tells plantUML that the styling rules apply globally to that specific type of diagram. Once the diagram type is labeled, you can define style parameters in a way similar to how you would use skin param. These parameters let you adjust properties like colors, fonts, borders, and other visual details, but with greater precision and flexibility than global settings alone. You can add an entry for the tag name activity inside the style section. This allows you to set the background color specifically for all activity nodes in your diagram, giving them a uniform look that is easy to distinguish from other elements. For diamond nodes, which represent decision points, you can overwrite the background color, even if a general background color has already been set for nodes. This lets you highlight decision points in a different color scheme, making them stand out more clearly in the flow of the activity diagram. It's also possible to add an array of tag names, which are particularly useful in activity diagrams. By grouping multiple tag names together, you can define shared styling rules that apply to all of them, ensuring consistency across related node types without repeating the same style instructions. Once you start using the Style section, you can set a wide range of individual styles for specific elements. For example, by targeting the tag name node, you can customize how all notes in your diagram should appear, ensuring they stand out or blend in with the rest of the design as needed. Among the customizable options are text-related properties such as font family, font size, and font color. These allow you to control not only the readability, but also the overall tone and visual impact of your notes. In addition, many other properties can be adjusted, giving you the flexibility to fine-tune your diagrams to match your preferred style or organizational guidelines. Combine this with handwritten and shadowing, and you get a stylish multicolored diagram for starters.